was waiting on you.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. What you Oh, we on live right now?
Yeah, you on, buddy?
Oh, okay. Hey, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? What's the deal? You fell asleep on me last night, man.
Ain't no doubt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's good with it? Where uh uh so the Ken thing fell through? Mixmaster Ken?
Yeah, man. Ken ain't
Or it's on
responding.
standby? It's on standby?
Hey, man, I'm tired of dealing with it, man. Uh,
Yeah.
I, I mean, I need more patience. It shouldn't be that hard though. You got people in prison that can do it. You, I mean, come on, man. It ain't that
Yeah.
damn hard. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to find these goddamn comments. I don't see no comments.
I don't know. Will they show up on my side or just on your side?
All right, it's on. I see it all. All right, I got it.
Okay.
What up, y'all? Baby Crayzo's in the house, man. He want, he had a little feedback, for y'all in the comment section saying I didn't know what I was talking about or I was hating on somebody else's video, but I'm gonna let him tell it in his own words, man. When you went first, give a shout out to everybody, Crayzo.
Hey, what's up with y'all? How y'all doing, man? The King Griffey Jr. This shit, man. Y'all like to say, man, what's the deal, man? How y'all doing today? I can't see the comments, Kev. So if somebody say something, you want to read it out to me, want me to ask specifically, let me know.
Yeah, I'll read out some of them. I'm not gonna read them all. Half these dudes are retarded, man. Uh, I think they be getting high when they watch this shit, dog.
Hey, listen, man. I be seeing a bunch of them in the comment section, like, man, I got to roll me one before I put the video on. But they
For
hit that
real.
like button first, though. I be proud of them when they hit that like button already, though. They be like, let me hit the like button and pause it.
Y'all go ahead and like the video, man. If you a Ken Griffey Jr. fan, man, and he ranking your top 10, y'all go on and like the video now, man.
Oh man, hey, look, it's crazy when you sent me the invite. I was working on my top 10 right now. It's crazy you mentioned that. Look, hey,
uh,
look, hey, look. I got the pad and the paper right here, working on the top 10 already. I was working on it, so you know, it's rough. It's rough. That's rough.
well, let's start out. What did you see? Anything stand out in that interview by Badger about Tookie?
There's there was a multitude of things that stuck out and inconsistencies and the things that just weren't true. But first and foremost, before even getting to the particular video, I'd like to say to the people watching and the many supporters of KMB and those stomp down supporters that know what's real and know what's not. Uh, this is a brother talking about Kev Mack, and I'm not just saying it because it's Kev Mack. I'm really gonna talk about any black man or woman. But this is a person that's trying to bring our history, let it not fall by the wayside, not get told correctly like it has been uh, before his platform. And we all can attest because we know about other platforms. I won't drop no names or nothing like that. But a lot of stuff be inconsistent and don't be true. Kev Mack puts you on there, founders, second generation, first generation, third generation. Then a person like myself is the aftermath of everything that happened in the 70s and 80s and so on and so forth. But let's not shit on another brother, man. Um, I just recently seen a video. I think I think it's Badger, or something like that. If I'm not mistaken, Kev, is that his
Yeah, this
name?
Badger
Badger.
interviewed Jay.
Yeah, I seen Badger interview Jay, and no disrespect to Badger as a man, no disrespect to Jay as a man. I wish him the best with that cancer and all that. But Kev Mack is one of ours, and I was in the comment section on that video, and I was appalled at some of the comments that was left, where you could see one video with one person, and especially don't look like you. Mind you, does not look like you, and some people can call Kev Mack's work into question. That's crazy. That's highly disrespectful, and it's amazing how we know in today's world that a lot of things that we've been taught way before Kev Mac video or anything in this genre, as far as history books and things like that in school, and we've come to find out that it's just not real and just not true. So fast forward to 2018, a person would drop one video about significant people in our genre, and all of a sudden you call into question Kev Mac videos. That's crazy, and that's disrespectful. Y'all need to cut that out.
Hey, welcome to the platform, Mixmaster Ken out of Compton.
What's up, Ken? How you doing, boy?
What's up, man? It's been a long time, man. Last time I saw you, Thanksgiving was on a Tuesday.
Yeah, I was a little kid last time you see me, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We had a real good talk the other day, man. I was all smiles, man, for real.
Yeah.
Hey, Mixmaster Ken, we're gonna get to you shortly. I want to finish hearing what Crayzo got to say about that interview.
Okay. That's a bet.
So, Crayzo, what did you notice in the video that didn't add up?
Man, just to go right in and get started, man. It was actually laughable, and I'm laughing because no matter what country you go into, no matter what language they speak, 2 + 2 gonna be 4. I don't care how you add it up or how you subtract it. 2 + 2 gonna be 4. You take away 2, it's gonna be 0. About 5 minutes, 6 minutes or so into that video, as far as on that Badger platform, it said that he shot somebody at 12 years old, spent 5 years in jail. About 20 seconds later, he said he was already saying white power. So by the time he went to jail, or before he went to jail growing up, he was already a racist. I ain't calling none of that into question right now. I'm just trying to make a point and add that to something else. So if you was already saying you was a racist and you was already screaming white power, how, and let me fast forward and I'm gonna go back, how at 23 minutes of your video, you say you was not a racist when you went to the county jail? Like, just stuff like that sticks out to me. You know what I'm saying?
Let me interject real quick. What was said was he grew up in a mostly Hispanic neighborhood, and they hated him at 12 years old, and he hated them back. They say your sound is real low, Crayzo. They say you sound far from the microphone. I don't know if you can adjust your volume. I turned it all the way up on my control.
God. Oh my God.
Hey, what about now, Kev? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can hear you good.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Kev. I'm listening.
No, that was it. Just that he said at 12 years old, the Mexicans hated him, and he hated them right back.
And he was already saying white power.
Right.
Okay, so, now that's this way before we get to the jail stuff and the Tookie and all that. So right there, it starts off having you think one way or something like that. So at 6:15, 6 minutes 15 seconds in the video was already saying white power. At 15 minutes 40 seconds, you hit the county jail. At 16 minutes 30 seconds, you say they found knives in your cell, and the police or the sheriffs or the deputies sent you to Little Africa, but he specifically says he was sent to the Crip module. First of all, as Kev Mack has stated, the Crip module was formed when, Kev?
1983.
Okay, so he already said he went to jail in 1978. That's an inconsistency. Number two, what stuck out to me was, how do you get caught with knives in the cell, be it knives that are sharpened or stock? Stock is when something's not sharpened yet and you just got metal or hard plastic or whatever. So my thing is, they rolled you up from that module or whatever, and you got sent to the Crip module. You didn't go to the hole after they found 7, 8 knives, however many knives. That's crazy. And what jail have you or anybody else watching, or even Ken, if he got locked up before, can say that they got caught with a knife or know some homies got caught with some knives and didn't go to the hole. That's far fetched. That's not reality.
Okay. If it was reality, it would fall under white privilege. However, that wouldn't make sense either because it's not a white privilege if they throwing you in Little Africa.
Come on, man. Police said Little, or a deputy said Little Africa. He specifically said he was in the Crip module in 78. Kev Mack, our historian, one of ours, a Crip. Crip module was not started till 1983. Okay. Now, at 16 minutes and 40 seconds, you say you got jumped by Crips, 7 to 10 Crips. Okay. After that, you stayed in there, you say, for 18 months. Okay, so within 18 months of you being in the Crip module, you didn't seek retribution or retaliation no time while you was in there. So in my eyes, the way I was, when I was in the different Crip modules, Linwood included, the last and newest version of the Crip module, I was there also. If you got marked out or punked or anything, you was food for everybody every day of your stay until you rolled it up, got released or anything. There's no way in the world you was going to get attacked by 7 to 10 people and you stay somewhere and you was even eating. And back then in the county jail, just stories I heard, because 1978, I wasn't there. I was 5 years old myself. You was sleeping on the floor, getting your money sack took and everything else. So there, and it was hard. And I'm not being racist right here, but everybody who's 50 years plus and 55 and those ages, 49, they know it was hard for white boys back in the day back then. Unless you was just really down and really with the business and you had your respect. But they was getting, you know what I'm saying, Kev. So let me keep going.
Yeah, I know. I witnessed it. I could. My information is not secondhand on that. I could speak firsthand, and you're absolutely correct.
And I can and I'll just say this real fast. Throughout the years, the LA County Jail got softer and softer and softer. So because with the segregation, the police get more control and things like that. Not necessarily talking about the inmate or the convict, but just how everything is structured. You didn't have free reign to roam from module to module and stuff like that. So I mentioned 1640 got jumped by the Crips. Okay, you didn't retaliate or nothing because you stayed in there for 18 months. And if you the only white boy that stayed in the Crip module for 18 months and you claim, and we just gonna read between lines, you claim you stayed down after you got jumped. You didn't have no other fights, nothing else happened to you, and you stayed there? Okay, all right, so we gonna fast forward. At 17 minutes and 18 seconds, at 22 minutes, you say you stayed in the Crip module for 18 months. Okay, we did that. At 22:48, you got sent to an all-black module and caught a case on the first night. Now, you didn't even tell me you got attacked by 7 to 10 people, 7, 8, 10 people in one module for 18 months. You was there. You didn't mention nothing about retaliation or anything, and you was the only white boy, and you stayed down and had some fights in the Crip module. But you go to a whole new module and catch a case on the first night. Okay, why did you catch this case on the first night? Oh, because that made you a racist. Well, wait a minute. You had already said back when you was 12 years old, you was already a racist. Now you want to say that your experience in jail made you a racist? Come on, man. One thing about the truth is it don't change. It don't be inconsistencies in your story. You might forget some things because of age and just, it just don't stick out or whatever the case may be. But it's all going to add up at the end of the day. At 23:27, he says his racism started after being locked up in the county jail. Well, we already know that's not real, man, because if we go back to 6:15 of the video, you said you was already having interaction or racial interaction with Mexicans. So, and I ain't never known no racist white folks to not dislike blacks first and foremost. So it was just a lot of inconsistencies. And then the host of the show, when he, you can tell his journalism is terrible. And like I said, I'm not attacking him as a man. I'm just talking about from a journalistic standpoint. When you said Tookie was the founder, that's laughable. Not laughing at the big homie Took, But just for you to even say something like that, so that lets you know that you haven't done your homework and you're not serious about what you're doing. And that's a culmination of what I alluded to in the beginning of this, is that when he made that statement to the viewers and the people in the comment section, when that host made that statement, you probably should have clicked off the video right there to even accept man like
man,
that.
I watched the whole video 4 times from beginning to end because so many people sent me messages and emails telling me to watch it, sending me the link. So reluctantly, I watched the video. I came back, gave my response, and I'm overwhelmed at the couple of black dudes that said I was hating and I didn't watch the video. I mean, I can't understand it. But nevertheless, moving right on, we got somebody that you actually know from the streets as a kid, man. Mixmaster Ken.
Knowing personally.
Mixmaster Ken.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself, bro.
Well, this is Compton's legendary Mixmaster Ken. And you know, I'm here hanging out like wet clothes with Lil Crayzo and Kev Mack, you know.
Man, tell us who you are, man. What's the significance of Mr. Master Ken being on the KMV platform?
Well, I mean, you know, where I stand at, I was at the right place at the right time, if that's what you want to call it, as far as getting this West Coast hip hop thing going. Actually, you know, what I was doing, me and Mixmaster Spade, you know, when we were you know, making mixtapes, like scratching and mixing and stuff, whatever, you know, it became like a hobby to me. You know, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to mix and make tapes, you know, of me scratching and stuff. You know, it wasn't about rapping. However, that came about when I said to myself, well, you know, as people playing my tapes, you know, how they gonna know who made it? You know, so I told Spade, I said, man, we really need to start rapping on these tapes. You know, he's like, for what? I'm like, because people know who made it. You know, as far as our minds, you know, everybody knew it was Spade's tapes when he made his because he was the only one doing it. There was nobody else in the city of Compton doing that. Absolutely nobody. I haven't heard nobody do it. You know, and you know, I became kind of good at it. You know. But I named myself DJ Ken, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't like DJing parties and all that. I mean, you know, I wasn't really good at it in it really as far as you know, sitting there DJing parties or whatever. You know, I wanted mix or whatever. You know, so you know, my stage name was DJ Ken at first, and when I became rapping on there, I changed it to MC Ken. But where Mixmaster Ken came from, not that I copied his name, you know, actually Mixmaster Spade and a friend of mine's named Terrell Barnett had, you know, kind of gave me the name, you know, and I took it as a tease, you know. Spade would be like, oh, Mixmaster Ken. And I'm like, oh, no, it's MC Ken, you know. But, you know, once I caught that bomb with that name, you know, I stuck with it.
Hey, so you knew Toddy T too?
Oh yeah. Todd had about 5 names, man. You know, and that's funny. You know, with Toddy T, he was making tapes. He was more like a blender. You know what I mean? And writing rhymes and stuff. However, he was his group. The name of his crew was called the Black Tie Crew. You know, but they came behind me and Mixmaster Spade, you know.
So you one of the pioneers of hip hop in Compton?
Say what?
So you consider yourself one of the pioneers of hip hop in Compton?
Oh, most definitely.
You was out before Eazy-E and NWA?
Most definitely. Yeah.
What songs did you have on the radio, or what was your best underground hits?
Well, as far as the radio, I had a song called "I Bumped Your Head," right? And that song, I was like bagging on Mixmaster Spade, and but it was, like it wasn't like a beef. It wasn't really like a diss or whatever. His came first. The Genius is back, and the part when he say, "You've been fronting on me time after time, saying rhymes that you knew were mine." Well, he wasn't actually talking about me as far as the record, but as we would like be at home in battle raps, and his record just happened to come on. Well, when he get to that part, he'll look at me and say that, and we all start laughing and stuff or whatever. And I said, man, I'm gonna bump your head one day, because that was that's an old school word. Like if you're gonna trick somebody, psych somebody out, like somebody's at the door for you. Ain't nobody at the door for bumped your head, So that's where that song came from. But that song wasn't to go nowhere or nothing like that. I made that record. Actually, Mixmaster Spade helped me pay for that record, along with my cousin Orlando Shirley. We call him Snicky. Yeah. But
so you not go ahead.
And far as other records, wherever I made records that I did shows with that I didn't never bring out, like Show Me Love. I was on a song with Toddy T called Back to the Old School. It's Toddy T featuring Mixmaster Ken. We did shows with that. We traveled different states and stuff when he was with Thump Records. But way before that, Todd came out with the Bat Around. And I wrote the third verse to the Bat Around, most of the third verse, just about all of it, whatever. But Toddy T, he was a damn good writer, and that's me on the chorus. That's me saying the Bat Around. You can't stop it, baby, the Bat Around. But that's not my song. That's Toddy T's song, and so that's why, I consider myself as a Compton legend or a Compton pioneer because as far as I'm concerned, I never really run too much material to the radio.
Right. Hey, Batarang was a classic, man. Everybody on the West Coast bumped that. But what about Helicopter, man? Tell me about Helicopter.
Okay, the Helicopter, that was like a remake of the first Batarang that Toddy T made. He made a Batarang before the one that y'all hear on the radio, off of instrumental song from a New York artist, old school New York artist. And like the Compton, the city of Compton had a like a gold yellowish helicopter that would be, that would like swarm down on drug peddlers, drug dealers and stuff, wherever, and actually my house was like right behind Compton. The Compton airport. And when it goes up, it fly like right over my house. And I said, I'm gonna write a song. I'm gonna write a rap called The Helicopter. So that's where the Helicopter came about.
Hey, is it true Mixmaster Spade?
Pardon me?
Is it true Mixmaster Spade used to ride around Compton with a microphone rapping?
Well, actually, he had a Blazer. He had a Blazer truck, and we had like a boom box in there, and he'd stick the microphone in there, you know what I mean? And I might, like, sometimes I'll be driving the truck while he's sitting there rapping, or vice versa. We did that like around the neighborhood and stuff, but like not just all through traffic, nothing like that,
Yeah. Hey, you got a light on in your room where we can see you a little better?
Yeah, let me see. Where like right here? Where? Okay. Because I'm not at home right now. Let's see. Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. Hey, when last time you had a haircut, man?
Man, the last time I had a haircut, well, I mean, Cutting my split ends, does that count?
I'm just fucking with you. I see you
No,
still
no,
got the
no.
braids
But
and shit.
actually, you know what? I had a bald head one time in my life. I was in Riverside County Jail back in 1996 in November. Actually, I was betting on the Tyson fight. I forgot what fight he had lost in November of '96. I don't know if it was Buster Douglas or who, Holyfield who. But I was like, I was in my dorm, and I was like, man, if Tyson lose a fight, I cut all my hair off, you know. So he lost the fight, and you know, and the next morning, they say, "Hey Williams, you still gonna cut your hair?" They said he ain't gonna cut his hair. I said, "No, I'm gonna cut it." You know, so you know, it was certain days that we could go get a haircut, wherein and they cut it off. All the, you know, I got a bald head, you know, and I wasn't to get out until June, and June came so fast because I didn't want to come home with no short hair. You know what I'm saying? You know, but uh, that come February, even though I was in the county, they let me out on the furlough for 4 days because one of my uncles that passed, and he was like a father figure to me, which my father always was always in my life or whatever. You know, I had a good record. You know, my record wasn't really bad, and I hadn't gotten no trouble in there, so they let me out for like 3 days or whatever. You know, and then I returned back, and I'm like, dang, my hair is, you know, is growing slow, but the time was going fast, you know. Yeah, so that's the only time I really cut my hair bald. That's the only time I really had a bald head. Yeah,
Where'd you grow up at in Compton?
I grew up right there on West Murr Street, like around the corner from 156th Street in Compton, right behind the airport.
Okay. That's 151 neighborhood.
Yeah, actually, my neighborhood, it was so bunched up, you know, all those sets and stuff. My neighborhood was 151, and my street was Murr Street Crips.
Y'all had Crips within Pyro borders.
Yeah, inside the neighborhood, it was the whole neighborhood was 151. You know, and I'm just gonna say it. You know what I'm saying. You
I
know,
didn't hear you.
and
I couldn't hear you.
I said, as far as the game banging, I don't know what it felt like. Not even 10 minutes to be a Crip or a Blood. You know what I'm saying. But at the same time, uh, I played a big part in separating the street, my street, from my neighborhood before it got real carried out like that. You know what I'm saying. You know, I believe it started over a dice game. You know, or something, and I had a patio in my backyard, and me and a lot of my partners was like in the back there, and I said, you know, the person who kind of cheated me in the dice game, I was mad at him, and you know, I'm like, if y'all gonna gang bang, y'all gonna, you know, you're gonna be the opposite of whatever, you know, whatever the neighborhood was. If the neighborhood would have been Crips, then it'd have been the neighborhood would have been Crips, and the street would have been Pyrus. But it was the neighborhood was Pyrus, so the street became Crips, however. But I didn't think it was. I mean, like, you know, if it like if it had been like later on in the years, it probably would have never happened. But I never torpedoed nobody to do nothing or nothing like that. I mean, I didn't have the strength like that. I don't believe, or you know, because
It-
actually I wasn't known as a fighter growing up. You know what I mean?
So
Yeah.
when you was out on the block and people recognized you, did they used to want you to bust a rhyme for them?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they still do that sometimes. It's you know, it's a trip. Um, what happened? Like like I would tell Spade, you know, man, put my name in your tape, you know, and he put my name in his tape and stuff. However, you know, I used to drive my mom's Lincoln Continental, and she had an 8-track player in there. So the first tape I got was he did it on the 8-track, whatever, so, but I was making my own tapes too, every couple of weeks, I save my money or whatever, and I get a turntable and I get another turntable. My mom had bought me my second one. No, she bought me my first one. I bought the second one. Oh man, it's a funny story, man. When I was at home, DJing and mixing and making tapes. If I could share it with you guys, it's real funny, but it's real,
Did you
What?
did you own any of your rights to any of the Battle Ram and other songs?
No, I didn't own the rights. I didn't own the rights to it. That, like I said, that's Toddy T's song, and the ones that did I Bumped Your Head, Calvin Anderson, from VIP Records, he was my executive producer, so he has the masters to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. How come you never built yourself a platform to keep your legacy going?
Because, like I said, I wanted to mix. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to consider myself as a rapper. It actually came on accident, bro. I would rap on there and I would say something funny and stuff because I knew how to crack jokes and bag on people and stuff. I had to, I had to know how to do that because I grew up in the regular's house on the block. You know what I'm saying? Most definitely. You know what I mean? So, I knew how to rhyme and say something that was real funny. That's why I would change records around and I would rap over them. So I didn't consider myself a rapper. I consider myself as a mix master. That's why I still have that name. You know how some people, they take the DJ off their name or the MC off their name or whatever. Well, the mix master will always be there. I wanted to stay true to what I like doing. It was fun to mix those records and stuff. The only problem I had at the house doing that is that my mom didn't understand that I needed 2 turntables. She called them record players. And she would be on the phone talking to one of my aunties and stuff, and like, this boy done bought him another record player. What you need 2 record players for? I bought him one. He spent his money and got another one. And I'm in there making the tape, and as I'm scratching, she bought me the records and stuff. She gave me like $15, and I go buy a couple of records, 2 of the same records. I would need. And as she see me scratching and stuff, and she said, "What you doing? Scrabbling? You scratching up all the? Don't ask me to buy you no more records." And she didn't understand it. She really didn't understand it. So I would have to wait till she leaves and stuff for me to really rap over it. I could all day, but I'm like, dang, I need for her to leave so I can rap because I'm cursing on there.
Man, that's some funny shit. What kind of turn? What was the first type of turntables you bought?
I had techniques, but they was like mix match. Spade had mix match too. Until he got that coffin, and he got Technique 1200s.
Yeah.
But mine was like brand new. They were brand new in the box. They were just I didn't buy them at the same time.
Get them off. What they run? What they run? About $350 back then.
Probably in the store. Probably yeah. Because I bought them off the street for like 150, 200 bucks or whatever. The first thing I got was a set of speakers from my friend Terrell and Bronco. Rest in peace, Bronco. Oh my God! Today is Bronco's birthday. Today is Bronco's birthday too.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Today's Bronco's birthday. Anyway, their mom Olena was had bought a new Capona set. What they called it back in the day, and she was like, "I'm gonna throw all this away," and I said, Terrell, I said, "You think she'd let me have those speakers?" And she said, he was like, "Ask her," and I was kind of like, I was real close to them, real close, you know. And she said, Kenny, you want these speakers? I said, yeah, you know. So she let me have the speakers and stuff because before she get off of work and I get out of school, and I run down there and I be on a record player, you know, practicing on it. You know, I was real good at it. I was real creative. I always knew how to. I was real quick at catching on to something or whatever, you know. So and doing stuff that everybody laughed. Tell them, Crayzo. I used to have the whole house laughing on.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Ken got jokes. Oh, he got jokes. Hey, he was the first person I ever heard. We was all in the room one day as kids watching TV, and we was all start bagging on him, talking about it and whatever. And he went in the kitchen and got it was either a salt shaker or a thing of salt, and told us to shut up before I put salt in your game. That was the first time I ever heard that Mixmaster Kid back in 1984, 85, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like of course, I mean, a lot of us started off with a lot of corny jokes and stuff. Like I would have like the thing of ketchup on the mail, you know, come in, and I said, "Dang, I got to catch up on my bills," or something like that. You know, a lot of little corny little stuff or whatever. But cracking jokes and stuff. I mean, you know, who didn't have those Richard Pryor albums and stuff? Where you know we would go to my patio and play them Richard Pryor. I knew it backwards and stuff. Actually, oh man, it's another funny story that happened in '84. We actually met Richard Pryor, me, Spade, my friend Cheese Man, and
Cheese Man was out of Nutties, right, Ken?
yeah, and I forgot who else it was. But I had them going to the racetrack at Hollywood Park. I would go to Hollywood Park in the daytime and Los Angeles at night. You know, watch the
quarter horses.
The quarter horses. But anyway, we met Richard Pryor there, and it was right after he got burnt. You know, the first time we met him, okay, at the a horse won. You know, he went out there to take pictures with whoever was the owner or whatever. So as he was walking by, we was shaking his hand, and I said, Richard Pryor said a joke, and he turned around. He was like, "Man, I can't say no joke right now." Or whatever he said, it was just funny, right? But okay, we met him right there. But me and Spade went up there so much, and we always be in the clubhouse to where he wasn't in no suit and tie no more. Richard Pryor, he was in like regular clothes. Him and
Hey, did we lose him, Crayzo, or is that my connection?
No. He going in and out.
Yeah, he froze up on my shit. I was gonna ask him about the rhodium swap meet and what swap meets he went to, and then get into how y'all met and where y'all grew up and shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully he come back on because my camera had went off, so I just clocked out, and clocked back in.
Yeah.
I was working on my top 10 while he was talking. I had to go on, narrow it down. I had to one cut I didn't want to make, man. I had to make, man.
Let's see if I could eject this nigga, man. Yeah, man. I'm gonna send him another invite. I want to hear what he got to say about them swap meets back in the day.
Yeah.
Before Dr. Dre and all that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he predate all that. Yeah, the helicopter, man. I still remember that song, man. When I recited some of the lines to him the other day, we was talking. He was like, "Man, that's crazy. You remember that shit?" I'm like, "Man, I remember y'all selling them tapes for $5, man. I remember he used to be in the living room with the 2 recording machines, recording them from tape to tape. You know what I'm saying?"
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I remember all that shit.
Swap meet on Slauson or in the Valley. Was there one in Gardena? Mixmaster Ken.
Yeah.
Hey man, you got cut off, dog.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. If should I proceed?
Yeah, proceed, bro.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, we would see Richard Pryor like regular up there at Hollywood Park. Him and Vic Tayback, you know, they be sitting there, you know, doing their thing, we doing ours. And this was in 1984. You know, we were making underground tapes. We hadn't been on the radio, none of us, me, him, or Todd, whoever. And so I remember Spade telling him his name, and he's like, "Yeah, this is Mixmaster Ken, and that's Mixmaster Spade." But they would forget the name, whoever, you know. So one day we were there, and he said, "What's y'all name again?" And I'm sitting there reading the racing form and Spade telling them, and he said, "Well, if I forget it again, I just call y'all Mixmaster Fat and Mixmaster Thin," like that. And we started it was real funny, man. You know, he was, you know, real cool. However, you know, Spade spoke to him more, however, you know, and but you know, we always right there.
Man,
Wherever,
you didn't test your skills and bag back on him?
yeah. That was a part of him doing that. However, you know, he laughed at a couple of my jokes. However, you know, and I would get home and then tell my sister now, you know, what Spade was, and he had Mr. Pryor laughing, you know, like that and stuff, you know. But it, you know, it was no talk about you ought to be a comedian or nothing like that or whatever. We didn't ever talk about his albums or nothing like that. It was like, you know, everybody was like betting those horses or whatever, you know. I would see him, I would look over, and from a distance about maybe about 20 feet, you know, Spade might be picking a horse together with Big Tay back, and Richard Pryor might be in line, standing in line, and I'm right, you know, everybody was like just like sectioning off or whatever, you know. Yeah. But
Hey, what can you tell me about the swap meets back in the day, man?
oh man, yeah, all of us running into each other at the swap meets or whatever. Me and Eric, you know, well, Easy E, you know, I wasn't never really used to calling him Easy E, and he wasn't never really used to calling me Skinny Kenny. When we called each other our stage names, it was like, you know, a funny thing, something to laugh about, because my nickname was always Skinny Kenny, and
So,
his was Little E, you know, and
did you go to school with it easy?
yeah, I knew Easy E before any rapper that you know. Before any
So,
rapper that you can name right now, I knew him actually because we went to Davis Junior High School together. And then he went to Roosevelt Junior High when he moved on the east side of Compton. And after that, he came to Compton High School, and then I guess he transferred maybe over to the school near his house, his district. I mean, Dominguez High School, and you know, and that was the
was
last time I saw him until I started rapping. He didn't know that Mixmaster Ken was Skinny Kenny until yeah, you know, I was making tapes, and my nephew Eric lived down the street from him in Compton, you know, but my nephew stayed closer to Alondra, and Easy stayed closer to Greenleaf, you know, and Easy came down to his house, and Eric called me, and he said, "You got a friend named Lil E that you went to school with?" I said, "Yeah." You know, and he said, "He right here. He want to speak to you." You know, so he's like, "What's up, Ken? This Lil E, Eric Wright." I said, "Oh yeah, what's happening, man? You know how you been doing?" "Man, I'm all right, man. I didn't know that was you. They was talking about Mixmaster Ken." You know, until my homeboy was like, "That's Kenny Williams. That's Skinny Kenny." You know, I guess he caught my voice or whatever. You know, "Man, make me a tape, man. Put my name in your tape." You know, like that. You know, I'm like, "All right," you know, and he would even come over to Spade house because him and Spade had other business going on, and he'll pull up, and he had like a Volkswagen. It was like fixed up and stuff. You know what I mean? And
did you know Easy to be a Kelly Park hustler or Kelly Park Crip?
I've never known him to be a gang member or whatever. I mean, I never saw him broke. Just put it like that. He kept money. Man. His nickname should have been Money because he always had money. He, you know, he was a real good dude. He had a big heart. Spade had a big heart too. Actually, I would say a hustler, wherever. I would look at it as more of a hustler. You know, he wasn't in my mind like ever known as to be a gang member. You know, he was a hustler. You know, he helped a lot of people out. He helped me out in '94 when I was kind of like I was raising my kids by myself. I moved to Moreno Valley, you know, and I was like at first I was about 500 short, but like when I was like 300 short, Todd said, call Eric. Man, Eric could do anything for you. I said, man, I don't want to. I said, I ain't got his beeper number. You know, we had beepers back then. You know, Todd was like, beep him and give him my put my code in there. You know, so I did. And the next day he called me and he was out of state. He was out of town. He was like, what's up, Ken? And, you know, I was like, nah, man, I'm out here in Moreno Valley. And I kind of messed up on my rent, like 300 short. He's like, 300. He said, man, he said, yeah. He said, I'm out of town right now. This your number right here? I'm like, yeah. I'll call you back a little later. So after that, he called me and he told me to meet this one chick. I thought it was probably one of his baby mamas or whatever, but I guess it wasn't. I don't know. He was like, if you can meet her like the halfway point because she's coming from LA, you know. I'm like, well, Green River Road off the 91 freeway. I'm like, yeah, you know. So me and the chick met up right there, and you know, so he's like, oh, so you Mixmaster Ken? I'm like, yeah. Like, well, Eric, you know, he'll be home in a couple of weeks. He's out of town right now, and he told me to get this envelope, you know. So I opened the envelope, and it was like more than $300. I said, well, what is this? She said, well, he said there's 300, you know, to go, you know, take care of your rent, and he gave you $5 more $100. That's a total of 800. You know, told me to tell you Merry Christmas. I said, oh man, you know, it wasn't too far from December. It might have been like just ballpark figure, August or September of '94 or whatever. So yeah. And
what label was you on?
Well, I wasn't on the label. I mean, like, well, Thin Line Records. Yeah, Thin Line.
Who owned Thin Line Records?
I believe it was Calvin Anderson.
All right, hey, but tell me about the swap meets, man. Early '80s when y'all first came out with your music. What was that like? What swap meet did you go to?
I went to both of the Compton swap meets. Yeah, I'm sorry about that because I went to another. The one on Long Beach Boulevard. That's the big swap meet, and the smaller swap meet was on Compton and Central, and we would take our records there. You know, I would go to Long Beach and to the VIP, and you know, Calvin would give me like a couple of boxes of my vinyl, you know, my 12-inch single, and I would take it to this. I don't know, if the guy was Chinese or whoever, you know, and you know, I would give it to him for like $250, and I guess they'd sell them for like $4.98 or whatever, you know. And I go to certain record shops and stuff, and I did the same thing over in at the Little Compton swap meet. Yeah.
Whose hood did you consider the swap meet on Long Beach Boulevard?
What hood was that? I don't, because it was like on the borderline of Compton and Linwood, you know.
What's that? The mob over there?
It might have been the mob. Was probably south of the Compton swap meet, I believe.
Well, you obviously you didn't care if it was Pryor or Crip back then, huh?
Yeah. It didn't. I mean, like all over Compton, it wasn't like, oh, I'm in this neighborhood. I'm in this neighborhood. It was my city. It was Compton. You know, I never looked at my street or my neighborhood as this gangbanging neighborhood. I mean, you know, I grew bonds with so many people in Compton, all over Compton. You know, I knew people all over the city of Compton.
You didn't go to the swap meet in Gardena?
I believe so. I might have went to one in Gardena. I believe so.
Do you remember when Dr. Dre? You remember when Dr. Dre started putting mixtapes in the swap meets?
Oh, the rodeo at the rodeo. I didn't go to the rodeo. I remember. Yeah, I remember that. I think that came after us. I believe.
Dr. Dre had the fire. If you didn't
Yeah, he
have
did.
Dr.
Yeah,
Dre shit, you didn't have no fire.
yeah, exactly. Dr. Dre was a genius, and he still is a genius. I mean, you know, yeah. Dr. Dre was the man.
So did
Yeah.
y'all put tapes in the swap meets or not?
Mixtapes.
Yeah.
As far as the tapes, I was DJing, I was mixing. However,
Yeah.
I didn't. No. I might have put a couple of them in there, whatever. But I was my own swap meet when it came to that. You know what I'm saying? As far as my tapes or whatever. But as far as the records, then I went to the swap meets and record shops and stuff. But as far as my tapes, it wasn't. They were coming from off the streets.
Do you remember
Hey,
when
kid.
DJ Quick came out with the underground tapes?
Yeah.
Did you ever fuck with Quick?
No, what it was, my nieces and nephews went to school to Davis Junior High with DJ Quick, and my nieces and nephews asked me to come pick them up from school the next day, and I said, okay. I said, why? Somebody mess with you guys or something? They said, no. A lot of our friends don't believe that you are our uncle. So I started laughing. I said, okay, what time y'all get out? And they said 2:45. So, I goes up there, and my niece said, come in your Cadillac. Cause I had a couple of lowriders, and I had a little burgundy Regal. I had cars and Conley Elite, Crayzo.
Yep. Everything you saying is real. I wanted to ask you. I was gonna remind you about that album cover when you first came home with that album cover, and it looked like you had some blue or green contact lenses in. They had your eyes looking all crazy. It was all white, I think.
Yeah, I had green eye contacts and stuff. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, but yeah, as far as Quick, like, so what I did, I drove like in front of the school, and there's a lot of traffic and kids going, everywhere, and cars and stuff. So I told my nephews and them and nieces, I said, y'all walk down there, let me pull over and park. So I'm, reaching out my moon, the sunroof of my Cadillac. It was fully equipped, and
The bumper kit.
yeah, with Mixmaster Ken on and gold leaf and a personalized license plate and stuff, or whatever. I'll tell you about the car trophy later. That's the funniest. That's gonna be the funniest story I probably told. But anyway, Quick and maybe like 2 or 3 of they more of their friends that came over there, and introduced him as DJ Quick. I guess his name was Q or something like that, or whatever. But of course, we know his name is David, whatever. So if they might have said, "This is my friend David," or whatever, it wasn't like DJ Quick. He wasn't DJ Quick. Then he didn't go by that, or not as my I know it. But he said, my nephew said, "Yeah, man, he wants you to hear his tape." So he handed me the tape, and I put it in my car. Though I knew he was gonna be a star. I knew it. I told him, I said, because that first album, you could hear some of the stuff on there and how he redid it and stuff, man. Quick is a genius too. He is a genius, bro. For real. A rapper, producer, and stuff. And I said, man, it was hard. It was hard, man. I was like, I knew he rapped better than me and Spade put together. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to embarrass myself on here, but I'm just keeping it real. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Hey, so tell me how you and well, tell me that funny car story before you and Crayzo tell me how y'all met. I think we lost him.
Damn.
think we lost him.
Damn.
Crayzo, can
Send
you
him
hear me?
another invite, kid. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you. You can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. You on?
No,
Yeah.
I was saying send him another invite or see if he popped back through. But while he was talking, man, all that he's saying, I can only remember so far back, but all that I can remember, everything was real. Yeah, everything was real, man. It was some good time, and I'll never forget, man. He came in there and told us all to shut up before I put salt in your game, and we was all trying to watch TV play the video game. I'd never heard that before in my life. This nigga is funny as a motherfucker, man.
I guess Ken don't know how to click back on the link.
What that comment section look like? What they talking about?
Oh no, ain't nobody asking no questions. They just talking amongst each other about who ran shit, who didn't, and what swap meets they went to. Tough skin pants at the swap meet.
Tough skins? Yeah, I had the tough skins with the patch in the knee.
Yeah, I had a couple of tough skins myself, man.
Hell yeah.
I used to put my own patches inside the kneecap.
And the tough skin was the real deal. They don't make jeans like that no more, boy.
Nah.
Yeah. Hey, look, I done finally put together my top 10 too, Kev, man. It was tough.
All right, go ahead out. Our hour's up, but we'll go ahead and extend it. And go ahead, give me your top 10, man. Yeah, I told you it's tough. I told you it was gonna be tough, dog.
And it's tough, man. I'm gonna start off with the honorable mentions. My honorable mentions is no particular order on the honorable mentions. Santana Block, Hawk, East Coast with Quake, both East Coast. I include Quake with the East Coast. The Kitchens, Pygmy, and Moon. Those are my honorable mentions. Before I get to the top 10, I got pound for pound. You know what I'm saying? This interview. Okay, no, he back. I wait.
No, hey Ken. I don't think he in. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't see his face. I see his name. I don't see his face. Hey, tell us about getting shot in Track New, Ken.
Yeah, that's a trip. I was before I got to the phone booth, me and Spade, we was at my friend Andre Hooper's house over there in Front Hood. We were playing dominoes, and I kept losing my game, and it was like the loser had to do 50 push-ups, So I lost about 3 games, and my arm was real tense. That played a big part in me probably still alive today, whatever, by me doing those push-ups, by me losing those games. Because after that, we left from there and we went to Adele's a soul food, right there off of Compton Boulevard, right there, like in the neighborhood, whatever. And after that, I left and I went to the phone booth I paged my friend Dwayne Ward, I remember, and so I was waiting on him to come meet me up there, and actually I was supposed to went to jail that day, but I got a 3-day extension right there in Los Cerritos Court in the Bellflower. The judge gave me a 3-day extension, so I'm like, well, hell, I might as well try to flip this little money. And I'm sitting there at the phone booth, talking to my homegirl, Sonia Hackett, I think it was, on the phone, her sister or whatever. And while I'm waiting for him to come, I see a car go by and it made a left into the park. And it's by that time another guy had just pulled up in a truck, and he had his door was open, his driver's door, and he went to use the phone. And he was like dressed like GQ, like dressed up, but he had burgundy on. I remember I had like a white t-shirt, a black, that black jacket with Mixmaster Ken right here, and some army green pants and some black house shoes and a hat, But I'm on the phone, and when I look to my left, I see somebody in a long trench coat, about to shoot like that. And I said, but they was pointing at him, and I said, oh no, they about to shoot. And when I dropped the phone, the guy didn't know which way to run, so he's running towards me, and as the guy shooting at him, he hit him and he fell in against, like up against me and made me fall. I already got hit twice in the leg. I'm not even knowing. So when I stood up, the guy turned and went to shoot at me, and like I turned. If I wouldn't have turned, he would have caught me in the chest. But he caught me in the arm, and it said bloop. Like you could hear it. Like man, that's real on them. What you hear on them cartoons when they be shooting from guns, whatever. So I ran across the street from the mobile gas station to the grocery store. It's a little liquor store that's attached to it. There was some guys standing out there, and they was about to run. At first, they see me running over there, and they hear the shots. And like I said, I was so well known out there in Compton. As I was running, they was like, "Oh, that's Mixmaster Ken." That shot, And I ran right past them, and I ran into the grocery store. And it's a trip because I kind of like collapsed in the middle of the aisle where they had the cereal and the oatmeal and the sugar and stuff. Because I remember looking up, and I was getting dizzy, and right in front of the oatmeal box, and the guy with the little Lord Jesus, they called it, the hairstyle, and the little smile and stuff. It was like thriving. I was like, man, you just sitting there smiling at me, help me. And one of the cashiers, real talk, a big old bro that worked there had picked me up and brought me to the front, and my sister that came up there, and they had caught a flat. They came from Paramount, caught a flat, and they were still riding. My older sister, Pat and Linda, and it's a trip, man, because normally they take you to Martin Luther King. They took me to Charlotte Suburban Hospital, straight up Alondra. And the day before that, I was over there. I was over by that way, and I seen a bomb like laying out in the parking lot, like in the driveway part, right by the emergency. So I turned around, I looked, I see him, and I tell the nurses and stuff. And when they brought me there, the same nurses, they seen, it was like, damn, we saw you last night, but, like that, but like, yeah, I got hit 3 times. And as we going down Alondra, that's my first time in riding the paramedics. I see this car speeding up, coming towards us, right? And I said, I think that's them. I said, speed up, like that, talking about the paramedic. And they said, they said, no, it's just one person driving. That was Spade. Spade was the first one up at the hospital, as they put me into the emergency room and stuff or whatever, Yeah. And it was a trip, but it's a small world. It's a small world because I kind of found out who it was that shot me, and he didn't know it was me. And I hadn't seen him in about 7 years. We used to shoot dice on the cafeteria porch at Compton High and stuff. I won't say his name or whatever, but and I forgave him. My family forgave him and stuff or whatever. Like, man, they told me I shot Skinny Kenny. I was like, damn. What was you doing? Where was your car at? My car was parked at the gas pump and stuff. Whatever, yeah. So my other sister Jackie had lived in Moreno Valley, and Spade had left a voicemail on her answering machine saying that your brother Kenny's all right, but he got shot 3 times, and little Skinny Kenny gets hit 3 times. I'm like, oh my God, is he still alive and stuff? And so like, as my family was coming in to the room and stuff, I had to like ease their pain and stuff. So, and like I said, like I was conscious and stuff, wherever, and they said he was sitting there cracking jokes and stuff and rapping, and Spade, Spade told him, here come Jackie now, say a rap and stuff, but she's crying right now and stuff, and I went something like like I said something like, I'm the Mixmaster Ken and I'm mad as hell. They got me inside of the hospital. I got shot 3 times, then I fell on the ground. I tried to get up and run, but I fell back down. That's just how we just say the little jingle rhymes, the little nursery rhymes and stuff. I mean,
hey, did you ever hang out on Crenshaw Boulevard?
Yeah, that's where the first time people was coming up to me and stuff, like, that's Mixmaster Ken. That's when those starter jackets came out, those Yankee jackets and stuff or whatever. And I bought a blue one. Everybody had the blue one, and I bought a white one. and people had the Lakers jackets, the purple ones. I had a gold one, and I had a Boston Celtics jacket. Well, not that I was a fan of it. I just bought jackets and stuff, And we were there, and me and Spade had made a tape together, right? And Spade said, "Listen, Ken," and on Crenshaw, all them low riders over there, and I could hear myself rapping on there. I said, "Damn." It just felt like we was on the radio, and so I had my name, right here, Mixmaster Ken or whatever, and he had his, and man, it was a trip. I was like a little ghetto superstar, I guess, and then everywhere I was going, people would know me by my goatee and stuff, man, yeah.
Have you ever met Red Rum?
Huh?
Have you ever met Red Rum?
Yeah, I met Red Rum about 4 or 5 months ago.
I think we lost Mixmaster Ken again, man.
Damn.
So Crayzo, go on with your top 10, bro.
My honorable mentions is no particular order. Moon, Pygmy, the Kitchens, the East Coast, including Quake, with his interview all together, all inclusive. Hawk and Santana Block. That's who I had on the cutting room floor, man, and I hated to do it. But then I got my top 10. But before that, I got Pound for Pound, Undisputed on Kev Mac Videos. My personal opinion, don't even fall in no top 10. Not at all. Don't even try it. It don't add up. It's Bird, Pound for Pound, man, and Pound for Pound. His interview is the start of everything. You know what I'm saying? Pre-Crip, pre-Blood, even included some essay history. So my Pound for Pound top video on KMV platform is Bird. Coming in at number 10, Big Miz, Rolling 90s, Neighborhood Crip History. Big Miz came in number 10 because the information was clear cut. Everything was explained in detail, all inclusive, and he connected the dots with the neighborhood, the 9-0, the West Coast, the East Coast, how everything came about. So Big Miz came at number 10. Number 9, my top 10, my big bro, my real partner, Big U, Rolling 60 Crips, came in at number 9. Like I said, he connected the dots. Big part, you know what I'm saying? Whether one wants to admit it or not, but it is what it is. A big part of West Side Crip history, as far as the 80s and the 90s, and a legendary figure in gang lore. You know what I'm saying? His name rings synonymous, inside of jail and outside of jail, and then on top of now being a community leader and an activist and breaking into the music industry. Coming in at number 8, the man himself, TPK, Too Pretty Kenny, is my number 8, man. Too Pretty Kenny. Hey, go ahead, Kel, say it again.
No, yeah, I'm just saying bet. That's a good one.
Okay, yeah, number 8 is Too Pretty Kenny, man. All his stories check out. All his stories are factual. People was dropping his name before he ever came on KMV. The difference between Too Pretty Kenny, I guess, and everybody else who tell their stories, it's a lot of animation, some comedy, but at the same time, that's just his character, just his personality. Too Pretty Kenny is a good dude. And like I said, they tried to fact check him and question what he say, and they always get a blank. You know what I'm saying? All Too Pretty Kenny stuff, check out. Coming in at number 7, Triple OG Fall is number 7. Bonnie Hunter Watts. Frog actually brought Too Pretty Kenny to the platform. Dropped his name. You know what I'm saying? So that's another check mark for Too Pretty Kenny. Frog information was detailed just like Big Miz's. Very, very detailed, and just overall Frog brung it. Coming in at number 6, Tyrone Tate, original Jordan Down Crip. That's my number 6. Tyrone Tate connected the dots also. I loved his East Side history, his Watts history. It just Tyrone Tate and Frog was right there. I didn't know who to put 6, who to put number 7. Please, y'all, KMV supporters, don't kill your boy, okay? But I got 2 people coming in at number 5. I'm gonna make an exception. The first one in his spot is the first spot in number 5 is Michael DeRoe. Michael DeRoe, man, I loved his interview. Man, I loved it, man, from the time he introduced himself to the time he signed off. I can't even say enough, but just the perseverance of a human being being locked up for all them years and, succumbing to the streets, unfortunately, and for him to persevere and still be of sound mind, body, and soul says a lot. And the information was top notch. Coming also at number 5, don't kill me, but goddamn it, this is my top 10. Baby Crayzo from Raymond Avenue Crip coming at number 5 with Michael DeRoe. I couldn't put myself at number 11, so I had to slide in there with number 5. And why I slid in there, put myself at number 5, and I'm not talking about from a history standpoint, but Michael DeRoe's interview kind of reminded myself of my own interview. A lot of the stuff he was talking about socially kind of reminded me of my own interview. And as I was listening to him, the first interview I thought about was my own. So, coming in at number 5 is Michael DeRoe and Baby Crayzo. Coming in at number 4, my partner, cool as the breeze that come off the beach, is Little Caesar, Inglewood Families, number 4.
Let me stop you.
Okay.
Crayzo's definitely a top 10 KM video.
Oh, I appreciate that. Who said that?
Mr. Papa 151.
Hey, Papa, what's up, boy? What's up with OBP? Yep, that's right. Good looking out, folks. Coming in at number 4, this dude is so cool, man, and actually a role model that we all can strive to become. Little Caesar, Inglewood Family. His information was top notch. With the music, with the pictures, everything, the original upload, Little Caesar. He connects the dots also with the homie Big Rick, the big homie Big Rick from 60s, and all that stuff, Chain Gang, all that stuff, Round Table, all that stuff, Little Caesar, all inclusive, coming in at number 4. Coming in at number 3 is my big homie Big Nugget, Raymond Avenue Crips. It's a boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just what it is, man. Nug spans every generation of the Raymonds. You know what I'm saying? He gang bang with the G's. He gang bang with the youngsters. He a personal friend of Kev Max. You know what I'm saying? And that's my big homie. I don't really got to say too much on him. Check out the content. Coming in at number 2, in which I nickname him, amongst myself. How did I write it? The OG little homie, Cutes. You know what I'm saying? He was Tookie little homie. You know what I'm saying? And Cutes is like the young, you know what I'm saying, little homie. But Cutes also connect them dots from the Raymond Washington, from the Honcho, from the AC. Cutes, Magnificent 7. He connect them dots, man, and like I said, his information is top notch. Nothing in question. Reputation is impeccable. And it's just when you see it, when you click on the button or click on a video or anything, that whether it's a phone conversation with Kev Mack or anything, you got to stop dead in your tracks and listen to what he's saying, because his aura just captures you like that. And number 1, last but certainly not least, is the king. Hey, T. Baba Louie. Listen, man. He's the number 1. It is what it is. Like I said, Bird is the pound for pound. He is no 1 through 10. Bird is the pound for pound. Best interview on KMV, because He's the seed to all the branches that wind up growing. But number one is the king, man. AC Baba Louie, man. First generation Crip and first generation Blood. How can you top that? I mean, it's like fantasy talk. And a lot of people be saying, man, AC talk too fast. I can barely understand him. And he ain't talking too fast. You just listening too slow because I understand everything that he say. He's the first generation everything. He can connect you with Raymond Washington. He can connect you with all those other G's and Richard Miles and, all the other names that Kerouac always talks about, and also when it comes to throwing up that P or chunking up that B or that red flag, it all started with him or those like him. But you can't mention Blood history without mentioning AC Moses or King Baba Louie. So that's my top 10. Pound for pound is Bird. Number 1, AC. Number 2, Cutes. Number 3, Big Nugget. Number 4, Little Caesar. Number 5, Michael Duro / Baby Crayzo. Number 6, Tyrone Tate. Number 7, Frog. Number 8, Too Pretty Kenny. Number 9, Big U. And number 10, Big Miz.
Yours compared to mine, we may have four the same. So my top 10 is definitely going to be interesting. I'm going to try to make a premiere so we can all watch it together. Y'all can talk shit to me as we watch it together. Hopefully I could get that together for y'all. And my homie keeps saying that Cutes, Hawk, AC, and Miz definitely in the top 4.
Cutes, Hawk, AC, and Miz. I just couldn't get Hawk in there, man. I tried to and I wanted to, man, but just for, and we all got our own likes and tastes and things like that. Nothing against the big homie, not at all. But for me, he didn't crack my personal top 10.
I mean, it's too hard to do a top 10. That's the whole point. Would you agree?
It is.
All right, so this is what I got up for y'all, because we way over an hour. I'm getting ready to upload a video right now, and it's just a couple of clips from my last video with the comments, the haters, or I ain't even gonna call y'all haters, but the people that said I had it wrong about OG Mac. I'm gonna just post some shit from federal court, New York Times, and let y'all be the judge. For those that didn't have an opinion, judge it on your own. It's just purely my opinions and my research. By no way am I saying my information is factual, because sometimes the courts get it wrong. Sometimes newspaper articles get it wrong. And that's the purpose of Kerouac videos. Get it straight from the horse's mouth, facts, opinions, whatever. Throw it out there, and you guys in the comment section, y'all can be the judge. Good looking out for showing up, Crayzo.
Yep, no problem, Kev. You already know. And y'all stop questioning Kerouac information, man. You make yourself look crazy.
Peace, y'all. Good looking out to the few that donated. Good looking out to everybody. Click like. Shout out to Cali Cree. I wanted that Jarvis Street Pyru history. I understand you hitting all these other channels, but you ain't hit KMV.
Cali Cree up in there, Kev?
Yeah, he up in here. He came to watch you. He came to check you out. We need that.
Hey, man, Cree, what's up? Hey, that's my partner from Athens Park, Cree. We was in truck driving school together, everything, man. Cree, man, if you don't bless KMV soon, and I mean ASAP, because I'm seeing you pop up on these other channels, man, you're going to have a problem, homeboy. Come drop that history on Kerouac video.
That's enough for Cree. He don't deserve that much time on Kerouac videos. All right, y'all, peace. I'm going to be in the comment section on this next video. It should be up in like 7 minutes. Peace.
Okay, for sure.
All right, Crayzo.